Guys, I watched a really, interesting film about an angry lesbian ghost last night.
I like that.
And it was from, I think, it's called The Uninvited.
Oh, okay.
It's from, but it's not the new,
it's not.
It's like an old black and white, I think it's like 1941 or something.
Oh, so it's like a fucking, code lesbian. What's it like a gay ghost?
Are they like, look at this lesbian ghost?
I wish they said that.
Holy shit, I wish. It's almost explicitly gay.
It's very interesting that they were covering those sort of topics in the time period.
We don't even get good lesbian shit now. You know?
Yeah.
It's coming though.
The lesbian shit?
The lesbians are coming.
The lesbians are coming.
I think it'd be cool to do an episode specifically about like gay horror stuff, because there's a couple slasher films that are gay.
Mm-hmm.
And we could find other gay things too, I'm sure.
Oh, we'll do gay
We will do gay things.
We'll fucking do it.
We will do gay things. Some of us already have.
If it's not a good look, why do I wear it so well? Pardon me, I mistook your pretty face for someone else, but you just have to do, because you see it's getting late. It's a bleak point of view that keeps the guilt from off my plate. 'Cause
Gabby!
No.
And it's like the music, the metal music. Candace! Yeah, let's do it like that.
Yeah,
No,
like
no.
that,
How would I do that?
I just did it for you. Just
Say your name.
Ariel!
Diddly. Hey, welcome to the podcast. Not your final girl. I'm Candace.
Candace!
Hell yeah!
You have a catchphrase.
I did. What's your name?
Gabby. My name's Gabby.
Oh my god, nervously.
Gabby, please don't hurt me! Who are you?
Ariel.
It's Candace and Gabby and Ariel. We're not your final girl.
Yay.
Today we're talking about our favorite movies of 2019 and also a fair amount of our least favorite movies of 2019. Not a spoiler-free zone, just so you know. We'll be talking about some movies. If we mention a title of a movie that you are planning on watching and you don't want to be spoiled on, you might want to skip ahead.
Just skip the whole episode.
That's just a little one. Skip the whole episode.
Don't tell people to
No,
not listen.
no.
Stop listening.
I only mean if they give a shit about spoilers.
Don't listen. Don't subscribe.
But also you should, because you should just not care about spoilers.
Leave us a bad review.
This is 2020. Don't care about spoilers.
I'm Barbara Walters and this is 2020.
I don't have to huff and puff to blow your house on down. Tell me that you've had enough. I'll burn it to the ground.
There's a lot of movies from this past year that I haven't watched that I really want to watch. I just haven't gotten around to it. But I mean, I think for me it was definitely Tigers Are Not Afraid that really stands out. And I don't know if it was the experience of like seeing it with you guys and like going in a large group and just kind of feeling feelings with a large group of people, or if it was the movie. But I'm trying to get anybody to watch that movie. I'm like, please watch this movie. It's gonna make you cry a lot. And they're like, why would I watch it?
Mm-hmm.
You can feel stuff.
Yeah, why wouldn't you
Feel things.
Yeah, feel things.
Yeah, I think seeing a horror movie with a good crowd is kind of the gold standard.
Mm-hmm.
I saw Get Out by myself, but it was in a packed theater because it was opening weekend,
Yeah.
and everybody was just on the same page. I feel like it was a really good experience.
I remember seeing that in the theater, and it was the same. Everyone was into it, and it was almost like participatory in that way.
That's kind of one of the things about going to go see a horror movie too, is you never know if you're going to get a shitty audience that's going to ruin the experience or if it's going to be one of those. where it's just like, wow, like we're all on the same page, we're all laughing at the same stuff, we're all scared at the same stuff, we get it, you know.
Yeah, my experience with Ari Aster films so far has been just routinely bad. Everybody in the theater is just like really just fucking
Just
buck
laughing
wild.
it up.
Yeah, just not fucking with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been to a couple that were kind of, I guess, mismarketed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so like some of those hipster indie horror films where people come in. Did you guys ever see It Comes at Night? It came out a couple years ago, and it's an indie slow burn where like not a lot happens. It's a really good horror movie, but again, if you're not looking for slow burn, but the trailer is like fast paced, and everyone's like, "What's it? Like what? It's coming at night, whatever it is," you know. And then the film isn't that at all, and you could like the hate from the audience was so palpable.
Everybody's just like, when is it gonna come?
Yes,
in the night.
It's night. Where is it?
At the end, I went and saw it with Brian, and at the end, it was like kind of the equivalent of like a shrug and just people leaving. And we hear this woman a couple of rows down talking to the person she was with. She goes, "It was depressing, I thought." Like she said it. It's exact.
Where were you? Was it in
Angrily.
California?
Yes,
Yeah,
but
was
she
it
sounded
in
like
Brooklyn?
that. No, but it was like they transported her in just for the film. I think we saw it at the Maya.
It was
It
Larry
was
David.
depressing, I thought.
Larry David.
It's hilarious. We had to hold him. I think we might have just burst out laughing at that point. We liked it, but I don't think anyone else in the theater. And there weren't that many. It was like 10 more people, like 10 other people in the film.
Yeah.
It's definitely hit or miss. I think that's kind of the charm of it too, though. But also the appeal of taking a large group that you know is on the same page.
Yeah, like with Cats.
Oh god.
Like
Is Cats a horror movie?
Yes.
Well,
I was
I mean,
definitely
there's a
terrified.
ritual sacrifice apparently at
There
the
is a
end,
ritual
so
sacrifice.
Yes. There's a sacrifice. There's
It's practically the Wicker Man, but with cats.
and no Nicolas Cage.
No Nicholas. Damn it!
Without
He would have been
Nicolas
perfect in that
Dude,
film.
if Nicolas Cage
Dude.
had been one of the cats, that would have been the only
Dude.
way.
Nicolas Cage is McCavity.
Oh my god! But then we would have had to see him cat naked.
I would have liked that.
Oh, no.
I would have
wanted-
enjoyed it.
I
No.
wanted to keep my image of Idris Elba naked, not in fur.
Not furred
Yeah,
out.
not furred. Thank you.
I will never be able to see
No
anything
disrespect
else
to furries,
now.
but not, yeah, not.
Some disrespect to
I feel like even people
A
who
little
are into
disrespect.
furries would be like, "This is not what we mean, actually, guys." We also did not like this Idris Elba.
Yeah.
Well, that was, I mean, your movie sucks.
Adam.
Yeah, Adam definitely said, if like, stop blaming furries for this. If a furry had been in charge of it, it wouldn't have been
Yes!
so ugly.
It would have been way better.
Which is totally fair.
Yeah, there is a ritual sacrifice, and then they like when she addresses when she breaks the fourth wall, and it's fucking terrifying. That was really
Yeah, I
scary.
was, every time that there was just a cat face on the screen, it was killing me. It was just killing me.
It's so bad. I couldn't handle also that they were sometimes cats treated other cats as though they were a cat and that one was a human. Like I'd see cats pet cats, which was hideous, but then they'd also do the face nuzzle, which was
Oh my god, the face
That was
nuzzle
really
was
bad.
oh
multiple
no.
face nuzzle. It was
No,
just like a
no,
bunch
no,
of
no.
neutered orgies.
Yeah.
Like, the image of a cat that, still humps things when it's
Yes.
Like that.
That was that
also
film.
true that after every musical number they were panting?
They were, yes. Right?
I didn't notice that, but Jesus Christ.
After
A
everyone,
lot
they're
of
like,
Yes!
Oh no. I'm more uncomfortable now.
it was very uncomfortable. And there's the scene where Rebel Wilson like eats the cockroaches that are also people cockroaches.
People.
And that was.
And she peels her skin off.
She peels her skin
Multiple
off.
times.
It's a horror movie.
It's a horror movie.
Cats is a horror movie. Can't believe we watched
I'm
that.
comfortable with that.
You watched it twice.
I watched it twice.
Yeah.
I'll watch it again. I don't care.
I would watch it again.
Yes! I want everyone to watch it.
It's the same thing, right? I'll watch Midsummer again. I'll watch Cats again.
Same level.
Same thing.
Same level of pain.
Yeah. Cats, Hereditary, and Midsummer. Same strata.
I just really, I don't know. Midsummer was definitely, like, unquestionably my favorite of the year, and it was probably, like, just because of the amount of, like, There's always like female experience in horror movies, I feel like almost invariably, but that was like so identifiable in a way that I'd like never really seen done that well in a movie.
It was also pretty laser focused on the female perspective.
Yes.
On just her.
But I feel like that film was confused as to who was the main character. I don't feel like it was laser focused on her. I feel like there's a lot of moments where they're like, look at this douche boy. He is maybe the main character. And I'm like, I hate this douche boy. I don't want this douche boy.
Because of the nature of her character, though, that was something that happened. Just because she was so meek towards the beginning that she starts to come more into focus as the movie, as the story sort of progresses.
I just feel like the filmmaker needed a couple more years to marinate. It just felt really rushed. It felt like they're like, Hereditary was big. What do you got now?
Oh, I could buy that. It probably would have been better if he'd had some more time to pull it together.
I just, like, there were so many moments, and Hereditary has this too, I guess maybe it's part of his style, but it wasn't that bad for me, where, like, it just transcended into melodrama, and I was like, I'm not here for this melodrama. I'm not here for this weird scene where they're all crying together.
Oh.
Like, I can't, like, I mean, I was laughing.
That was part of the horror for me. It was just that the way that the cult sucked her in, and that it was exactly what she needed in a way, but it was also really terrifying because of that in a way. Like, that's like what makes the end like such a crescendo, is that it was coming all along. I don't know.
And she kind of knew she wanted it the whole time, but was like, oh no, I can't.
Yeah.
Like, that's not.
And then at the end they give her the choice so that she really has to cement it. Yes.
I like that part, and I like the part where the people, like, fell off the cliff and their brains exploded.
Yeah, that was
Because that's when everyone's like, oh shit, like this, like suddenly the gap between like, it's cultural difference. I'm like, no, this is fucked.
Yeah, like there's no way this is
I liked
okay.
that, but yeah, I just wasn't, I didn't like it. I didn't like that movie.
I have to admit, I think it went over my head a little bit. I feel like I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the parts of it that I was like, okay, like I understand that. I get that. I know where she's coming from. I know why this character is doing that. It was really entertaining. But I don't know. I do think I might have to watch it again to have like a fully formed opinion about it. But I don't know if I would.
I just don't like when I don't like when films do that.
Yeah.
I'm like, when a film goes over your head, I feel like that film failed. I don't feel like that film's too smart for you.
Yeah.
I just feel like then that film didn't do it good.
Yeah.
Or maybe it just wasn't for you, I guess. I guess that's an argument you can make too. Maybe I just didn't relate to it. But it also felt like, in the fact that it was like so focused on one woman's trauma and grief, it felt so like Hereditary. So having recently seen Hereditary, and I love Toni Collette, and that focus was good, and I'm like, oh, we're doing it again though? Like, you already did it, and you did it well. Why is it happening again?
Yeah.
It
I
felt
like that
very
you looked
similar.
at me. You're like, I like Toni Collette. Don't.
I like Toni Collette.
I
like her. She's good.
Yeah. No, she was great in that movie. The fact that she didn't get any kind of nomination for that movie
Fuck that shit.
is insane.
I like Chidi being in Midsommar.
Yeah.
That was really fun. I like to pretend that that's canon with The Good Place.
That's how you died.
Yes, exactly.
You couldn't make any choices.
It's an alternate universe Chidi, right?
Yes, yes, absolutely.
It's the only character he can play.
Yes.
He's typecast now. Weirdly.
Yeah.
Oh, we...
Are we recording?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Yeah, we've talked about this before, but like Ari Aster's thing for like people with deformities is kind of not cool.
Yeah.
That's really the only thing that I have a problem with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Midsommar, especially because
That
Hereditary,
feels
it
forced.
sort of makes sense. I don't like it, but it's fine.
You're still.
I guess.
You resent it.
But in Midsommar, there was no reason for it to be there.
Just
It was
a
literally
shock.
just a couple shots that were not
No.
even in the context of the movie. Like, it didn't feel like it was in, like, it could have just been taken out entirely. It didn't belong there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in that part I do agree with you, Ariel, where like it just kind of felt a little rushed. Where you're like, oh, let's just throw in a quote unquote scary looking person to make it, you know.
Cheap, I guess, that
Yeah.
moment. Yeah.
Very.
I had honestly forgotten about that part, but yeah, that's totally legitimate criticism.
My favorite scene was the period blood, where like just one guy had pink lemonade and
I love
everyone
that.
thought it was fine.
Yeah.
Sometimes the comedy worked for me, but it's just, I guess I guess it doesn't really matter what Ari Aster wanted, I guess, right? I guess that doesn't matter. But I am curious. Like, there are moments when it, like, walked a line where I'm like, is this humorous on purpose? Or am I laughing at the film right now? I don't know.
Yeah. Because
when I saw it, many people in the theater, I mean, it wasn't uproarious laughter, but we definitely were like, haha, what the fuck? Like,
there are parts of Midsommar that I think are intentionally at least supposed to push you to the brink of uncomfortable laughter.
Absolutely.
Like the scene where old boy like pisses on the elder tree and like one of them starts to like cry. It's extremely funny, but it's also really scary. Like there's like dread building up in that scene and you're like, oh, this is not good.
Yeah, that's a really like complex emotion to like invoke though.
Yeah.
Like for it to be like funny and you're laughing, but you're like, shit's gonna hit the wall.
Yes. No, that's how I felt almost the entire time, just in a rising like action sort of way until like at the end I'm like, yeah, I'm wanting to both like scream and laugh and like cry. I don't know. I thought it was very well done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm excited to see what he does next. I hope they give him a little bit more time, like not just like rush him to do something. Like I hope it's maybe something a little different. And he just has more time to work on it.
Yeah. And as much as I really appreciate a strong woman in a story, I don't need one, and I don't necessarily recognize myself in them a lot of the time. Mm-hmm. So I kind of like a character who she kind of sucks for most of it. Like, you're like, please stop acting like this. Please get a hold of yourself.
Please break up with him.
Yeah. But then, like, I mean, it's really understandable why she feels that way, and it's just, like, it's frustrating the whole time, but I don't know. I see a lot of myself in that movie for sure.
It's basically a chick flick. You're just telling your girlfriend to break up with her boyfriend.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Girl, dump him. Join a death cult. Live your life.
Cover yourself in flowers and throw old people off a cliff.
I did like the part where the old people fell off the cliff. That was great.
That was so good.
That was also,
It was so gruesome.
Yeah, it was extremely gruesome the whole time.
And they just fucking kept, like...
Yes. That was
hammering.
Really good.
That was insane.
Yeah, the scene started, and I was like, what's the mallet for?
Yes.
And I was with...
Where's the watermelon? Where's Gallagher?
Damn, this Gallagher show, this shit. This cult is lit. No, I went with Jandon, who at that point didn't really know what he was getting into. I said, I want to see Midsommar, and he said, me too. And I said, okay, let's go see it. He just said me too because he wanted to go see a movie with me. Oops. And then we get to that part, and he was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, because then you found out that he hadn't watched Hereditary, so he had no idea.
He had no idea.
Yeah.
The first part with, like, the whole, like, you know, family at the very beginning, he was like, what the fuck? And I was like, yeah, that's... And I was like, have you seen Hereditary? And he was like, no. And I was like, oh, fuck, okay.
Hold on to your fucking chonies, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's time to go.
Oh, I really liked Mandy, which kind of has a little bit in common with Midsommar, where, like, they use that kind of weird effect to make you feel like you're on acid. Like, Mandy did that, and it was real fucking trippy.
Yeah.
And I will watch anything that Nic Cage is in, except Ghost Rider.
I haven't seen Mandy.
I haven't seen Mandy either.
Watch Ghost Rider.
I would also watch
I would have to watch it. I would have to watch it with other people.
Yes.
Yeah, but
not alone. I
we will
never
watch Ghost Rider.
Next episode. Ghost Rider review.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did actually, that was another thing I really liked about Midsommar, is that I thought that the tripping effects were very realistic and actually made the ending make more sense in a way. Like, why are they acting like this? Oh, because they're being dosed the whole time they're here and they're like a little bit fucking tripping the whole time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but Mandy did that really well. I think the color palette in Mandy was really well done too. It was very like dark, contrasting with like really bright, like neon, like psychedelic colors. It was really gory. It was like a really good like revenge film. I really enjoyed it. I would watch that one again, but I would try to watch it with people, like in a group.
Mm-hmm. Did you guys see Sweetheart?
Fuck, I don't know.
It's like I guess it's a monster flick, but it's a survival flick where she washes up on an island and you don't know anything. Like, you don't know where she was. And then she find out that something weird comes out on the island at night. And then it's horror, you know, so it's more than just survival. I liked it. It was really simple. It was low budget. They don't explain a lot, which is great. I love when they don't explain shit, and it's just kind of creepy and weird.
So you said it was a monster
Yeah.
movie. Was there like a creature reveal? I feel like we're starting to get more of those, which is kind of neat.
There was a creature reveal. I mean, because it was so low budget, like you get a lot of shots that are quick, you know, just quick shots.
Focus
And then you do see him, and you're like, oh yeah, okay, this is low budget, like, you know, but it's cool. The concept's neat because he kills people, I guess, when they go. Presumably, there's so many questions, like, how does this creature live? Do they wait for people to get shipwrecked onto this island, and then drags them into a hole? So she's swimming in the ocean at one point, and she notices this big old hole, like this bottomless crater almost in the ocean. And he drags them into the hole. And you don't know what's in the hole. No one ever goes in there unless they're dead and dragged in by the creature.
Do they ever explain it, or is it just...
No, they never explain it.
Okay, I like
It's
that.
this nest.
Yeah, exactly. It's its nest. And
None
Right,
of
but it
your
can't just be a
business.
keep out. Humans keep out.
My hole, my rules.
Yes. There's a part though where more people wash up from the same wreckage, and one of them's her boyfriend, and they're alive. It's him and a woman. But there's another person. She goes, "Where's this other person?" And they say, "Oh, you know, he didn't make it." And it's weird, and they also never explain this, but when they use that same little makeshift boat to try and escape the island, there's blood. It's hinted at that they ate him, right? It's never expressly said, but that whole vibe was way creepier than the monster. I mean, the monster was good, but I liked the people element.
Like this, like, unspoken,
like
human
they ate
terror.
a dude
Yeah.
Human
that they knew.
terribleness.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta eat a guy.
So that was a fun one. I mean, nothing like super fancy, but it's like a solid.
Would I get
Solid
eaten
flip.
first? If we were stranded on an island, would I get eaten first?
I couldn't.
Would you die first?
Probably. And you guys are bigger than me,
I'm
so...
just gonna say, if you died first,
I mean,
and
if
I
you
was
were-
gonna starve, I might
Like
eat
I
you.
wouldn't kill you.
I wouldn't kill you to eat you though.
No.
I got shot by an arrow.
Sure.
Yank
then-
the shit out, put me on a spit.
Exactly.
Okay.
I don't have to huff and puff to blow your house on down. Tell me that you've had enough. I'll burn it to the ground.
When we went to the Egyptian theater,
Yeah.
Candace wasn't there.
I didn't get to go.
No.
No.
Ariel and I went to the Egyptian theater in Los Angeles to watch the LA premiere of Satanic Panic
Mhm.
by Chelsea Stardust, and we were really excited.
Mhm.
We get there, and I've never been there before. I don't know if you have.
I mean, I've walked by it. I don't think I've
Yeah.
ever seen something there.
Yeah, but we went to go watch it, and fucking who sits next to us but Mallory O'Mara, who we've been like obsessed with ever since we read her book, and it's part of the reason we even got the podcast together.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're like, is that her? Is that her? Is that her? And
We were just freaking out about it for like probably 20 minutes.
yeah,
it felt
and like we went on her Twitter to check her tattoos to see if it was her. And I was like, that's her. That's her.
Yeah.
Look at the glasses.
That's
That's
the hair
her.
color.
Yeah, but we introduced ourselves, and she was incredibly sweet. And Ariel mentioned that she works for the library, and she's like, "Oh my God, you're a hero!" And then we told her how much we liked her book and that we cried, and that was really cool.
That was a really cool experience.
And then like Chelsea Stardust, the fucking director of the movie, comes over to say hi to her. And when they're done talking, she's like, "I'm so sorry." Like she owed us anything, like these fucking strangers.
I know.
It's
so nice.
Yeah, but she was very sweet, and I think that's another kind of big part of the horror media that we consumed last year was just reading that book.
Yeah, Lady from the Black Lagoon.
Yeah,
That was a great book.
that was a great book. Do you know who read it and texted me that she cried? Gabby.
Aww.
Yeah, Gabby Steiger. Yeah, I told her about it, and I think she bought it, and then she's like, "I read it and I cried."
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was very sweet. Mallory O'Mara's writing another book about women's role in like drinking, like just alcohol. It's called Girly Drinks. I'm really excited. She told us about that before, like she put it on Twitter too. And I was like, oh my god, you
Got a sneak peek.
gave us not insider information, but yeah, that was really fun. That was kind of the only like horror themed event that I did this year anyway. This past year.
I did horror trivia.
Oh, we did do horror trivia.
We did do horror trivia. We got
Third place.
Very good.
Which was good considering how badly prepared we were and how little any of us knew about the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise.
Well, and I think all three of us aren't super big into slashers.
No.
Especially not any of like the huge franchises. Like I've hardly ever even seen one of the Friday the 13th movies.
Yeah.
I know, like, I don't know that, and there's a lot of the blockbuster shit that I don't know. Like, I know, like, weird indie horror shit and, like, behind-the-scenes knowledge that, like, is never gonna come up.
Yeah.
Hopefully it comes up in the next trivia.
Mm-hmm. Wink,
So we
wink,
did great.
Karina.
We did very good.
That was really fun, though. I had a great time.
It was.
That was a really fun night.
Mm-hmm.
I did the haunted library tour.
You did? Oh, yes. That was another thing that I went to.
You did! With Gabby!
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I took Gabby.
Either.
No, dude.
Yeah, the two Gabbies went to...
Like, everyone's, like, excited to go, and I can't get people to act. I think next year I'm gonna do Poe. I'm gonna do an Edgar Allan Poe one again.
Oh my god, do it.
Yeah.
I'll be Poe.
I already talked to...
I'll put a little mustache on.
Please do. Oh my god, please do.
I'll give you a cravat.
He was probably a tiny little man.
Yeah.
Just sit there at your desk with like a raven pecking at the window.
Yeah.
Just ignoring it.
Just scribbling away.
Yeah. Can I be the guy that's walled up in the wall?
Yeah.
Cask of
Cask of
Amontillado.
Amontillado.
Well, we saw Crawl. I don't know if we actually got into that yet.
Oh, we didn't get into Crawl.
Oh, yeah.
I did not like it.
Yeah, you did not
That was
like
the
it.
fucking alligator one, right?
Yeah.
God damn it, Ariel.
Killer alligator! I liked it.
You know what? I never had any intention of watching it, but I will say that as the second I saw the trailer, I was like, Ariel!
Yes! I mean, it wasn't like one of my favorites
Right.
of the year. I thought it was solid fun, like a good little monster. I guess it's a monster flick, huh?
Kind of.
Creature?
I really thought there was gonna be a monster and not a damn alligator, but and so I was already part of my issue with it. But it was also that I wanted to fucking see some people get ate by an alligator, and mostly we just see the two main people who, like, I mean, spoiler, but neither of them fucking gets ate by the alligator, which I feel like they introduce other characters specifically to have them get eaten, which I found a little bit cheating. I needed some steaks. So, some steaks and some steaks in the STEAK
It was like some steaks.
kind of variety.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Some human steaks.
I needed that gator to get some human steak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked the animal didn't die though. The dog
That's
did
true.
not die. And
I was
like,
gonna be mad if they killed the dog, but not the people.
I was very impressed with that. Because there was a couple there at least one moment where the dog was in peril. And I was like, I will feel negatively towards this film if they hurt this beautiful animal, and they didn't.
I would have been okay if all the cats and cats died.
They all go to the heavy side
They all
layer.
go to the heavy
At
side.
the end, they send the one off to the heaviside layer, and McCavity just murders the rest.
The Purge.
Oh my god. That's
the
the sequel.
cats, but the Purge.
That's the sequel.
The Purge.
The
Cats.
Cats
the
too.
The Purge.
Oh, shut up.
Oh,
No!
no!
Oh,
Not
make
the
it stop.
Purge.
Make it
I
stop.
stopped!
Nick Cage is in this one. He's
Yes.
in it.
The only redeeming.
He's in the sequel.
Directed, produced,
God
starring
damn. God damn.
Nick Cage.
Please no.
The Purge.
Please make it stop.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't really like movies that I can have on in the background. Like, I want it to force me to sit down and watch it. Oh, definitely not 2019, but Candace and I just watched The Autopsy of Jane Doe.
I fucking love that one.
And
Oh,
that,
yeah, I really enjoyed that.
that was fun.
Like,
That was fun and fucking trippy. I had no idea, like, when It was
It was
a lot.
legitimately really scary. If I'd watched it by myself, I would have been more scared, but I was fucking making too many jokes.
Yeah, we were making too many jokes.
I was like, oh my god, the bodies escaped. They were like laughing. I was like, okay, I really would have said that to myself if I was by myself, but I would have been not laughing at it like I am right now.
That one, like, I was mad at that movie when it was done. I was like, I hated that film. And then I was like brushing my teeth, getting ready for bed, and I'm like, you're just afraid of it. Like, it actually freaked you out.
That's why you're like, I hate the
You're
feeling
mad
that
at
gave
it.
me.
Yes! And I was like, this is how other people feel probably about normal horror films, right? That was a fucking scary movie. The design was great. Like, it was fucking, ugh. I would watch it again, but
I
with
thought
people.
that I was gonna get mad at it because I thought that it wasn't gonna make any sense at the end. I was like, oh, come on. Like, please don't. And then it did the thing. It did what I want a horror movie to do in the end, which is great.
Yep.
It definitely, there were parts of it that I was not expecting at all. And when I started watching it, I was like, I know what this movie is already. And I did not.
No.
At all.
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's nice that it had some surprises up its sleeve. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was such a fun one. That came out pretty, I mean, it's not 2019, but it didn't come out that long ago,
17,
right?
18? Can't be
I
much
don't know.
older.
Yeah, it's
remember.
only a few years old.
And we only we only this year started doing this podcast, so fucking
Give us a break.
We watched it in 2019. But yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of bleak in a way that I really
Oh my
appreciate
god, it's so bleak.
in a horror movie.
And that one got me.
It was very scary.
It was very scary. Especially, spoiler, the radio. When the radio comes on, I was like, what the fuck?
And that's
No.
like classic.
Yes.
That's like
Stop.
such a. I mean, it reminded me too of like in Get Out with like Run Rabbit and shit like that. Where
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah.
love that. Like
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for that.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
suddenly the
absolutely.
old time radio kicks in.
Oh, like
Yeah.
in The Strangers did it pretty well
Oh,
too
yes.
when the record
Oh my
comes
God.
on. So I don't know, like it goes to show that you can have like old tricks and update them and still make them scary and viable like in the new.
I think that's especially true of horror movies in a lot of ways because there's just not that many tricks to use. You
Yeah.
gotta make judicious use of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm really glad I watched it. I'm glad I watched it like with people too, because I would have probably been more freaked out. Did
Yeah.
you watch it by
Scary.
yourself?
No, it was me and Brian.
Oh, okay.
And so, but it was just the two of us, like just watching it. So it wasn't a huge crowd, so we weren't really like,
Joking.
no. We were just silently watching.
In horror.
Yeah.
So stressed.
Oh my god.
Yeah, there were four of us, I think, watching that one
Mhm.
for most of the movie,
Mm-hmm.
and we were definitely being dumb and making a lot of jokes, but also we were doing it because it was
'Cause you were
really
scared.
scary.
Yeah, that's like my defense mechanism is like,
laugh.
I'm gonna make a joke because I'm
So
uncomfortable.
we were doing
Yes.
it to cut the tension.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did Bird Box come out in 2019?
Fuck. I was just wondering.
I think that was 2018.
I think it was 2018.
Okay.
That was so bad.
That was so much fun, like, hate watching it with people.
But The Perfection came out last year, which is like 2019's Bird Box, so.
Is it?
Because wasn't that released specifically on Netflix anyway, too?
I think so. I think it was a Netflix.
Did you see that
exclusive.
Mm-mm.
Did you see that one?
No, we talked
You guys
about
need
it
to
the last
fucking.
time.
I know.
Listen,
you need to
no,
watch
we
that
need
shit.
to get on the shit.
How do you watch so much shit? You're like the most busy out
I
of.
don't know. I don't know. That's a great question. Because I was like, holy shit, I watched a lot of horror this year. But I also felt like a lot of horror came out that I didn't watch. Like, there's a lot of shit that kind of. There's a lot of blockbusters that came out that I just either didn't get a chance to see or was like, I don't fucking care.
Right.
I
Oh,
did
did
want
you
to see
guys-
Doctor Sleep, and I didn't get to
I
see
haven't
that.
seen that one either.
I have not heard great things about it, but I will watch it.
I've heard good things about it. But I get such fatigue from like going to the theater or just the thought of going to the theater.
Yeah. Did you guys talk about Ready or Not?
No,
No.
'Cause I haven't seen that one, but I know you guys saw it.
we did. I really.
That was
really
one of my
enjoyed
favorites
It
of
was-
last year.
It was really fun. It was a really fun, kind of more lighthearted take on the final girl where she gets put through shit, but it's more in like a humorous, kind of like kitschy kind of way.
Yeah, and it's super bloody.
It's
which I
very
love.
bloody. Mhm.
And I also am a huge fan of Winona Earp and Melanie Scrofano, who is Winona Earp
Oh, and she's all coked
Is-
up.
in this film, and she's so funny. She's such a comedic actress.
She's very funny. Yeah.
She's in Letterkenny too,
She is in Letterkenny.
and she's hilarious in that. So I was really, really happy to see my girl Melanie making it big in a blockbuster film. I was like, yes!
She stood out too.
She did. Yeah, she did, huh?
I think it's like Samara Weaving.
Yeah, what is she in other stuff? Like,
Samara?
Samara Weaving?
Like in the ring?
Probably.
Isn't that her name?
I think so.
Oh my god.
But she
Scary.
was great.
Scary name, dude.
Yeah.
yeah.
But she was great. She's like, I think she's been in more horror movies. I think she might be like fucking up and coming scream queen. I don't know.
What did you guys see? Or did you remember hearing about I Trapped the Devil?
I have been seeing that on things.
Okay.
I've been seeing it on lists, but I have not seen it.
Is it one of those Korean revenge movies?
No, it sounds like that though.
I saw the devil.
Oh, okay.
Sequel.
Okay.
Then I trapped him.
I came to see the
I saw
devil.
the devil part 2. Got it.
Oh my god. No, this is not that.
Kenny,
Not that.
got him.
Oh my god.
Sorry, I'm laughing at my own joke so hard.
Oh yeah, okay, to backtrack a second, because I do want to talk about I Trapped the Devil because I saw it, but the lead from Ready or Not is in The Babysitter, which I didn't see.
Oh,
but it
okay.
was that horror film that came out a couple years ago.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking
Kind of a
about.
campy, I don't think it did very well.
Mm.
I don't know. But anyways, I Trapped the Devil basically has the exact premise of an actual Twilight Zone episode,
Okay.
but more tweaked. So, someone has claimed that he has trapped the devil. He's locked the devil up in his basement. And so that's kind of the premise. Like in the movie, a husband and wife go to, the husband's brother's house to check on him, and you don't really know why. They're kind of treating him delicately. You find out later on in the film his wife got killed in a car accident, so that's why. But he's kind of living like a survivalist, whereas the windows are boarded up in the house, and he has like his gun with him, and they're like, what's going on with him? Like he's really took a deep end.
Like a prepper? Like a doomsday
Yes,
prepper?
yes, yes, exactly.
Okay.
But then he finally says, hey, I've trapped the devil in my basement. and the husband and wife are like, this guy's fucking nuts. Like, this guy's nuts. We gotta call the cops, because they find out there is someone trapped in the basement.
There's a man in his basement.
There's actually someone in there. And I thought I would like it more, because when people are saying this is like an episode of the Twilight Zone, I love the Twilight Zone. It's my favorite thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
And even the episodes of the Twilight Zone that aren't very good, I love. But it didn't do it well. Like, so I showed Brian the movie, and then immediately after the movie I was like, that sucked. And then I put on the Twilight Zone episode that it's based on, just so we could like cleanse it from our minds, because they pretty early on like take away any hope of any tension, because the tension would be, is this guy crazy, or is the devil really trapped in the basement, right? But pretty early on they make it clear that it actually is the devil trapped in the basement, and I'm like, well, what the fuck? Like, isn't that part of what would then create some tension?
Yeah, like that's like opening the box that the alive or dead cat is in. Like,
exactly.
That's where the tension is.
So, or I guess one of them could believe it. Like maybe I could understand, like maybe the husband or the wife believes it, and then the other one doesn't, and then there's some tension, or maybe the audience knows there's really a devil, but the characters don't. But no, none of that. The woman goes down and he talks to her from behind the door, and first of all, he has an altered voice. Like, he has one of those, like, almost like those shitty voice changers where you could change it to be like the devil voice. Yes!
It's me.
That's it! And then he knows her name. He's like, Susan, or whatever the fuck.
Is her name Susan?
I don't know, it's something like that. And she's like, and it's obvious, like, oh, I didn't tell you my name, you must be the devil,
She's like, oh, wow, I didn't tell him my name. This guy must be the devil, but really he just calls all women Susan.
Like, it would have been better if we had thought, if the whole time it's kind of making you think, or maybe the characters think, that, the reveal is, oh no, I think this guy is the guy that hit, like, in the car accident that hit his wife. Like, something like that.
I like
That'd
that
be
way better.
cool.
Like, just you explaining that is way better.
There you go. hit me up.
Yeah.
Producers of Hollywood
Yeah.
to fix your fucking script. I just
True.
so it just didn't do it, and it was a slow burn. And like I said, I like most slow burns I will like, but there was no payoff in this one.
Well, it sounds like what you said. Like they just kind of.
And they just hang out casually in the house.
With the devil.
And I'm like, okay, the devil's here, and also your brother has a gun. So...
Do they explain like why the devil was trapped by a basement door?
Yeah, and that's the thing. So the brother takes, he takes his brother up to the attic room to show him his. He's like, I've been tracking all the evil in the world, and he has, like, that meme with the guy where he's like poised and he's
Charlie
people,
from
yes,
Always Sunny with like all
yes,
this, okay,
with the crazy fucking newspaper
yeah.
things everywhere, and he's looking like nuts.
like conspiracy theory guy.
Yeah, that's this. Like, he takes him up to a room, and it's plastered with these newspaper things, but hilariously, there's, like, red string connected from certain things.
It's like literally Charlie.
Yeah.
Yes!
Carol!
And played straight, though.
Doesn't exist.
Like, played fully straight, like,
Oh,
seriously.
no.
And he's explaining to him, and he says, all this evil and all these people missing. He goes, and I trapped this guy, and when I did, like, I'm following it, and this person that was missing was found, and these evils are being reversed, and it's nuts. And there's a part even where his brother's like, look, you're not gonna, like, solve all the problems in the world by doing this. He's like, well, even if it's only 1%, that's good, right? Like, that's a good, I've made a difference. It's just, the explanation isn't good, and the mystery they didn't handle right either.
The idea that you can stop bad things from happening by literally locking the devil in a basement.
It's pretty bad.
It's kind of tripping me up.
It also sounds like a really bad country song.
Oh no, I trapped the devil, but I did not shoot the deputy. Shit. Well, and the funny thing is, the Twilight Zone episode is really good. The premise is different because basically it's a man who is wandering, I don't know, like the French countryside or some shit. I don't think it's France, but it's somewhere in Europe. And it's rainy, and he needs to find shelter, and he comes upon this old castle where a bunch of monks live.
They
He's
could
like-
trap the devil.
See? Reasonable.
Yeah,
Not a
castle.
rando.
Monks and a castle, that'll do it.
Not a rando survivalist, right?
Yeah,
He's like,
not
I
a
have
fucking
basement. No.
You need a dungeon and holy men to trap.
So already more believable.
Yes.
He goes in, he says, I need shelter from the storm, and they're like very standoffish and weird with him and don't want to, and he keeps hearing this weird howling. He goes, what is this howling? And they're like, nothing, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what you're talking about. And eventually he finds a man, and the man says, you need to get me out of here, like, they have me trapped, and he makes up this whole kind of actual plausible story. And then
Like the devil would.
Yeah, exactly, right? And then, of course, he confronts the monk, and the monk says he's the devil, we've trapped him, and that's why the World War I stopped. Long story short, though, eventually he does actually let this man go, and yes, he is the devil. And
World War II.
World War II, yes! And then World War II, and then it jumps forward to this man, 30 years later, and he is frantically talking to someone, and I think he's doing it face on to the camera, right? And he's saying, I've locked him up, and he's going to yell, and he's going to howl, and he's going to try to convince you to let him out. Please do not let him out. I finally caught him after all these years.
That's scary.
Yeah, and it's the maid, cleaning the house. I'm like, why the fuck? Just stay with this maid. Don't have a maid clean your house.
Listen, if you trap the
psychotic.
devil and you're fixing the world's problems, that's a full-time job. You don't get to do anything else. That's all you do now. You just babysit the devil.
And it ends with the maid kind of going to the door, and she's gonna open the door, and so it's way better. It's a way better
setup.
And again, it's a 30-minute. I guess it's a 30-minute episode versus I think that film was maybe 80 minutes.
But to bring back episode 2, you have to be good in order to stop being short. If you can't translate it into a 80 minute movie, fucking stay short. Stay in the 30-45 minute category. I would actually enjoy more horror shorts.
I'm so tired of long ass bad movies.
Yeah.
I'm so fucking tired of it.
Yeah.
In any genre.
It's really started to be a pretty hard line to me that your movie shouldn't be over 2 hours long.
Yeah.
Just no movie should be over 2 hours long. It's gotta be just an insane exception for me to think that it's okay
Like The Shining.
to not edit your shit.
I firmly believe. Well, I hate the Oscars anyway, so I don't like the Oscars, but I firmly believe they should have a strict point system. It should be very, like, the Oscars are now a sport, okay? And there's a lot of things that go into
the Olympics.
Yes. There's a lot of things that go into it, and I don't give a fuck. They could decide that. The one thing I care about is there's a strict time limit for the sports of filmmaking, and it is 90 minutes. And they can go over the 90 minutes, but they are penalized a point value for every 10 minutes that
It
they
will
go
start
over.
to cost you.
It will cost them.
You know what? I think that's fair because I think the vast majority of movies that I see are about 10 to 20 minutes too long.
Yep. How many, that's some of the greatest movies you're like, man, I wish I could live in that world more.
Yeah.
As opposed to,
And that's
please
what
make it end.
that's what people want. You like, it's very like tired and cliche, but like you leave them wanting more.
Yeah.
And starting to get to the point where you can tell where the movie should have stopped. And like
Yeah.
as somebody who's watching it, you should be so engrossed in it that you shouldn't be thinking, "Oh, this movie is too long now."
Yeah, I think that
Yeah.
there's a few movies that when the credits roll, I go, oh,
Yeah.
but most of them when the credits roll, I'm like, oh, thank God.
You're like, I can go home now.
It's finally done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's sad because it's supposed to be entertainment. And that's the thing, when a film is too long, then you almost start editing it in your head, right? Where you're
Right,
like,
oh,
I would cut this scene. And you're like, this isn't my job. Like, I'm not here to edit this film. I just want to enjoy it.
Well, and that's another thing that I really liked about Tigers Are Not Afraid. Like, I think it was an hour and a half long, and it felt like it was a lot longer.
But in a good way.
Because it was good storytelling, and it was edited well.
Yeah,
They packed a lot of story in.
they did.
Yeah. That's how you do it.
Yeah.
You don't make it 2.5 hours of just, like, grueling shit that the audience wants to get through. Like, you make it good.
And make it feel, because that's the thing with Tigers Are Not Afraid. It was such a weird, because we saw it in the afternoon, which is weird to see a movie anyways. It always throws me off, like walking outside and it's still light, because I always just associate it with nighttime in my head.
Mm-hmm.
But we're in the theater and we're sitting in there. I'm like, oh my god, it's not like 9 p.m. I feel like I've time traveled just because of how that film really sucks you into its story.
And sobbing.
Yeah.
Just like heavy sobbing in the middle of the afternoon. You walk out and the sun's still out.
And everyone can see your tears
Yeah.
shining in the sunlight.
Yeah.
Yes. Hate that.
But yeah, that to me is a really good example of like being able to do it in a short amount of time and doing it well. And like wanting to be in that world more.
So we recorded a whole episode about Tigers Are Not Afraid, which we haven't put out yet. But yeah, it's definitely at the top of all of our lists. I think like in all of our top 3 probably. I think
Of 2019.
definitely in my top 3.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
And also it's on Rotten Tomatoes number 1. It's Rotten Tomatoes number 1 highest rated horror movie.
Is
Yeah.
it really?
Yes,
That's awesome.
97%.
It got a lot of number 1
Yeah.
on a lot of best of 2019, because I know Issa Lopez was sharing it as like it had made a lot of, and like rightfully so. It's really exciting.
It makes me so happy. Like,
Yeah, it's
like
it's both like got like a ton of heart, weirdly, for a horror movie, but it's also just got some truly fucking scary stuff,
Yeah.
and it ends in a way that is fairly bleak
Oh god.
and ambiguous. It's not even really a spoiler. It's like, because if you get 10 minutes into the movie, you're gonna know that it's not gonna end happily.
Yeah.
Even like the opening when it's the black screen and it tells you the statistics of how many people go missing in Mexico and how there's no stats on the missing children. You're like, oh yeah,
Well,
this
fuck.
is it. Here we go.
Yeah.
Tearjerker.
Mhm.
Already,
Yeah.
like they could have rolled credits at that moment, and I would have already been like, "Oh shit, you're right."
Yeah.
So it was dark, but it was. I guess it's kind of the opposite of a lot of what we talked about, what we like about horror, where horror is, there's escapism in horror, and it's great to. And this isn't even about escapism, right? It's like, I mean, it is. It's magic realism, but
Yeah, I
it's
was
educating
gonna
you
say-
on like real world shit.
Yeah, it's real world shit through the lens of children.
Yeah.
And magical realism is kind of not even comedic relief, but like some kind of relief from this like really bleak,
Mhm.
dark
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
reality.
Yeah. Definitely. I saw at least one other movie in 2019 which tried to do that and didn't do it very well.
What was that?
Black Christmas.
Oh.
I didn't see that one.
I probably should have talked about that one before we get started on Tigers Are Not Afraid, because I feel like it's a really good contrast in terms of, you know, they're trying to make it like they're trying to bring up like real world issues and frame it in a way that's like fun to watch as a horror movie, but still sort of poignant as a real world issue. And I didn't think it was fun to watch as a horror movie, and I didn't feel like I came away with anything, which was so kind of just a failure on all counts, I thought. I know it's a source of tension
On Twitter,
on the internet, because some people enjoyed it for those factors, and to them I would say cool. But I did not.
I haven't seen it, but I mean, I trust your opinion on stuff, so I probably won't watch it because I think it sounds like it would make me upset. Rape culture and violence against women is really like horrible, and it's important to talk about, but don't like shoehorn it into a terrible movie and then say it's invalid from criticism.
Yes, just because your movie addresses important issues doesn't mean that it is immune from criticism.
Yeah, that's just kind of the
Yeah.
beginning and end of it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of an unfortunate trend in a lot of film too. Just being I've seen it happen more outside of horror than I even have in horror, where you have a film that is marketed toward feminists, right? But it's marketed toward, as in like they know, you know, this is your demographic, you will like this. But if it's not a good film, or if it's like the pseudo feminist vibe, I'm not gonna like it, and not liking it doesn't make me bad, and it doesn't it doesn't make me not a feminist, exactly. And you know what, liking that shit doesn't make you not a feminist either.
Yeah, we're all allowed.
That's all.
We're allowed to not like performatively woke shit.
It's okay. And like if you like it, you know, I mean, you know what I'm happy about? I'm happy that we're a demographic that's marketed to now. Hooray.
Yeah.
But also fuck capitalism. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen Black Christmas, so I'm kind of like taking it outside of that. I'm not. I haven't seen the remake.
But the first one's fucking great.
Yeah, I love it. And the thing is, I might see it just because I really, really love April Wolf. I'm a huge fan of her, and I love her podcast, Switchblade Sisters. Her film critic work is great, so I'd probably watch it just to support her. But I also have heard. I mean, I didn't go see it immediately because I heard enough that I was like, I don't know if I will like this film. Yeah.
There's parts of it that are good.
Yeah.
There's some parts of it that are good. There's parts of it that made me laugh.
I'll have to watch it so we can like talk about it in more detail.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm fine with you saying whatever. It won't like be spoiled for me, you know.
Yeah, I've been trying to sort of like be as spoiler free as I can, just because we're talking
Since
about
it's new.
you know, since we're talking about movies from this year and maybe that people would potentially want to check out, but
That's true.
But I also don't recommend. I also don't recommend it. I feel like I'm generally against horror movies that are trying to
Sell something.
that are trying to like exactly that have like some kind of agenda they want to like have something they want to say or to teach you. Like I'm a little annoyed by that. Not that horror movies can't address real world topics. It did it in a way that annoyed me, which I think I've already probably talked about, like the newer Halloween and why that annoyed me.
I think at the end of the day, like horror movies, even though they're kind of looked down upon, it's still an art form. It's still a film. There still needs to be some kind of art to it, you know? And it sounds like that's kind of what was missing from Black Christmas.
Right.
It's like the difference between like, here's a picture of a man beating a woman, like violence against women, versus like art that shows you, like makes you feel something. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, ultimately I do want to have fun watching a horror movie, which is like really kind of the big crux, I think, of the issue I had.
Mm-hmm.
Just didn't have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That's fair.
But then, did you have fun watching Tigers Are Not Afraid?
Yeah, I mean, in some ways. I mean, like, it's weird to say that.
Yeah.
And it's weird to say I had fun watching, you know, Martyrs, or that I had fun watching Midsummer, or, you know, any movies that we can talk about that are just
Like fucked up?
Yeah, extremely fucked up and super bleak.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's fun for me when a movie reaches some kind of payoff, or when it does something that I connect with, or when it does something that's pretty or well done.
Or if it just sucks you in. I mean, that's...
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe like more engaging than fun.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I'm thinking about a film, like, outside of the scope of the story of it, where I'm like, they're trying to do these certain things and it's not working, that's fucking annoying.
Right.
Yeah, that's just, like, not made well, and then you're out of the film. Like, you're sitting in your theater seat or on your couch, and you're thinking about real-world shit and how it, in fact, impacted the movie as opposed to, like, this movie telling a very gripping story or whatever.
So they break the fourth wall with how bad the writing is.
It's meta.
It's meta.
Right.
That's funny. I guess.
Yeah.
Some movies for sure do that. Is there any that you guys didn't get to see from last year that you were gonna try to get your hands on?
A fair amount of them, yeah.
Parasite for me for sure.
The one that got away, huh?
I really want to watch that.
Yeah.
I want to watch Dr. Sleep. I haven't seen it yet. I want to watch it more so I can form my own opinion on it because I've heard such mixed reviews that I would like to watch it. But I was kind of able to stay away from detailed reviews, just kind of people saying, it was good, I didn't like it, so I don't have like spoilers or like, kind of preconceived notions about it. But kind of those two.
There's one that I don't remember much, it's just the premise sounded really good. It's called Thriller, and it takes place in like South LA, and it's like a modern, I mean, there's clearly like, it's a slasher film, but I think it's like a fun take on the slasher film, which came out last year that I want to see. And then there's another one called In Fabric.
Oh, In Fabric.
And that one looks fucking cool, and I want to see it, but I guess it came out, I think it came out in the UK in 2018. Or no, something like that. But anyways, it didn't actually come out in the US until December of 2019. It's A24, so eventually it'll come to Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
It looks so cool. It's like a movie about a killer dress.
Yeah.
And it's just got that 70s aesthetic, like that giallo kind of
Oh,
look.
fuck yeah. Let's watch that. That sounds great.
Yeah. I'll keep an eye. I'll let you know when it comes out on Prime, because that one looks funny and beautiful and good. So that one I'm really, really excited about. Dr. Sleep, like you said. Parasite, definitely get it when you see it. Let me know what you think.
Okay.
We'll talk about it.
I do want to see Loose.
Yeah, dude. That one's a weird one. You guys should see One Cut of the Dead. That was my other favorite one.
What was everybody's number one from this year?
I was gonna ask that too. Yeah, like a little bit of a wrap
Can we do
up.
like top 3 or something instead? It's so hard for me to just pick one.
You do it. Give me time.
I'll do it.
Okay.
Midsummer, Tigers Are Not Afraid, Us.
That was so quick. I loved how authoritative you were in that moment. Fuck.
Yeah, now I'm sweating now.
I think I would say Tigers Are Not Afraid, yep. And then I say One Cut of the Dead and Horror Noir. Those are the 3.
Okay. I would say Tigers Are Not Afraid is my number 1. I think number 2 is Mandy, because it was really fun to watch. And then number 3...
You don't have to have 3.
Yeah.
I don't think
You don't have to.
No, yeah, just those 2. I really just enjoyed those 2 really stood out to me. But, I mean, I know that there's a lot of... Oh, what about the one with Lupita...
Little Monsters. You saw that one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I didn't see that one.
We watched that one after we watched Martyrs because we didn't have a palette
That
folder.
is hilarious.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, because my favorite genre is horror comedies.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I love horror comedies. I think they're fucking great.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely Tigers Are Not Afraid, Mandy, and Little Monsters.
Okay.
Because Lupita is great in it. And
I need
it's
to
super
see that.
adorable. And there's like character development, and it's really good. I really liked it.
Yeah, she's very cute,
Mm-hmm.
which is funny because in Us she's fucking terrifying.
She's very
creepy.
not.
I love
Yeah.
that range though.
Oh, you love that range.
Lupita the Scream Queen.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, she's definitely kind of... I love that she's going the opposite way, right? Where like she was like a mainstream actress and now she's doing horror, where it's usually horror and then into mainstream like Jamie Lee Curtis, right?
Hell yeah.
So that's really exciting. And it also like has a draw to make people watch those movies more.
Yeah. Do we have anything that we are excited about coming out in 2020?
My brain's not even in 2020.
No. Is it 2020?
It
I know.
is
It.
indeed.
We there already?
I really liked The Quiet Place, so I'm not super excited about the sequel, but I want to watch it to see like where they're gonna fucking go with it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you know what weird thing? I'm holding off. The problem is there's like a lot of horror where you see a trailer and you're like, I'm gonna wait. Like, I really kind of need to know. It can just go south.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing a remake of that British Turn of the Screw.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing I think it's a movie. I don't think it's a show.
Is it The Turning?
Yep. And I was like, I'm fucking interested because I love the Turn of the Screw,
Mm-hmm.
and I love. I think the movie's called The Haunting, right? That old one. That's, I fucking love that movie. That's one of my favorite horror movies, and I hope they do it well. So that's one that I'm like crossing my fingers on.
Yeah.
What else is coming out in 2020 that's horror? I just have like Birds of Prey on my mind, and that's not horror at all. So.
No. Antebellum. I
Oh
don't know if
shit!
you've seen the
Yes,
trailer for that.
Mm-hmm.
the trailer looks good.
It looks good.
I want it.
The premise is like, I feel like potentially very easy to handle wrong.
What's the premise? I try to stay away from trailers as much as possible.
Me too, but I was just already in a movie, so
Yeah.
I'm just gonna read it straight from here because like the trailer's kind of vague. A successful author finds herself in a horrifying reality and must figure out the mystery behind it before it's too late. But it's like she's like sort of vacillating like in time, it seems like,
Mm-hmm.
from the trailer.
Oh, okay. Ooh, yeah, that sounds really interesting.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see more like female directors and writers
Mm-hmm.
of horror movies. I feel like, I mean, there's obviously always been women in horror, but I do feel like 2019 was kind of big for that. So I'm just kind of excited to see what's gonna happen there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Also, like women of color directing and
Mm-hmm.
doing things like Issa Lopez, Gigi Guerrero. She's the one that directed Culture Shock.
Okay. Yeah.
And I know she's writing for like the Purge TV show, which like I don't like those movies, so I'm not interested in the show. But
Only the cat sequel.
Yeah.
The Purge.
Oh. only the Purge, starring Nicolas Cage as
I would-
Macavity.
Yeah, no, I really need that movie.
Cavity. Can Taylor Swift still be shaking the cat?
No,
titties, though?
God, no.
That was like the biggest. That was the most
The
horror.
biggest letdown for you.
Oh yeah, I was like, why aren't there cat titties?
She was the only one that had cat titties.
That's true.
Nobody else had cat titties.
No, they gave her like extra tit
Yeah, for sure.
to be a cat.
Do you think she asked for that? She was like, "This is like one condition, like give me cat tits."
Guys, Candyman. The Candyman's coming out this year too.
Okay, cool.
Oh yeah.
So,
Oh, we could talk about that. We could watch the first one and then
Let's
watch
do it.
Yeah, I like that.
There's also Elijah Wood one I forgot about. Called Come to Daddy that's coming out this year too.
Okay,
Come to daddy.
Yep, and it looks real good.
I like most stuff that Elijah Wood is in. I feel like he picks good stuff to be in.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed. Like, I watched I was in love with him as a child, so I've seen all of his films. Like, literally all of his weird
I
ass
was
kid
also in
star
love with
films.
Elijah Wood as a child.
I love that. He was very safe, you know? He's this very effeminate boy.
Yeah, I do. I like
He's a safe boy to
just
love.
like
He's a
pretty
safe boy.
I love a safe boy.
Yeah.
You got those big creepy blue eyes.
Oh god, they're so fucking creepy.
I like
They're
them.
I know.
so
and
big.
he did the eyebrows. He'd do his like little eyebrow thing, his like sad eyebrow thing.
Oh,
You
he
know
does
what I'm
have the
talking
sad
about?
eyebrow.
The sad eyebrow thing that he would do as Frodo. Yeah.
Yeah. He
So
had a lot
he's
of
good.
good suffering faces as Frodo.
He did. So he's great in a horror movie. Logical conclusion.
Yeah, I like that.
But he's always
I
like a
that lot.
creepy dude in horror. He's never like a sad suffering boy. He's like
No.
a killer.
Yeah. He's a villain. which
Oh,
is
he
cool.
was in Cooties, and he was
Yes.
he was good.
He's good in Cooties.
Cooties was a lot of fun.
Did you guys see one more that I actually saw? I think it's a 2019 film. Under the Silver Lake. Did you guys see that one?
No, but I heard of it.
It's a follow up.
We don't watch any I don't watch any movies
We have
apparently.
to watch it.
I watch no movies.
No.
We have fucking Shudder accounts. We gotta get on it.
Get on it. I don't. Under the Silver Lake is on Amazon Prime because it's A24, and it's the guy who did It Follows.
Oh, okay.
So he did this film Under the Silver Lake, and it's too long. It's too long, so it doesn't. It goes over the 90-minute mark for sure. But
Penalized.
yeah, so it would lose points in the Oscars that we don't care about. But it was great because it was kind of a fuck you to like Hollywood specifically, but also to I don't know about this generation, but like the time is like a paranoid time.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And so it's kind of like a fuck you to that, where it's like you can follow all these symbols, you can do whatever you want, and you can find meaning in anything, but it's all meaningless. And it was funny. It starred Andrew Garfield, and that's one where I texted you guys, and I was like, Andrew Garfield is Norman Bates.
Right, yeah. I was curious about that. I was like, really?
He is 100%
yeah.
Norman Bates. Not because he's a psycho killer in this movie, but the vibe he had, the kind of nervous energy.
Oh, he is
I
a
could
very
see him
nervous
being
boy.
a sort of vaguely handsome, very neurotic boy
Yes.
with a lot of dark secrets.
And good hair.
And good hair.
Because
Very
Norman
nice.
Bates had good hair too.
But in this movie, he's like a piece of shit. Like literally parks in a handicap spot and puts up a fake handicap spot. Like he is a garbage human being. He hates everyone, but he hates women. It's like he's sexist toward them, but it's like I think that film got a little bit in trouble because people were like, "This is a sexist film," but it was not. The film wasn't like they were definitely making a statement on like his sexism and
Right.
like this particular type of shitty Hollywood dude, or maybe just shitty dude in general. It's a good movie. I think you guys would dig it. It, like I said, it is too long, and it's fucking weird, but it was worth it. And I think it came out in 2019.
Okay.
Just to see him as Norman Bates, like in your head, you'll never unsee it after that.
Yeah, I'll watch that. That sounds right up my alley. I don't know if I could see him being a bad guy though. I'm like, Andrew, no.
I don't even know. He's not even a bad guy. He's not a bad guy. in
He's
this
just kind of
film.
like a shitty person.
He's just a shitty dude. He's the main character.
Okay.
He's shitty.
Okay.
It's meant to be funny. It's nothing like It Follows. Like it is not. I guess it's horror.
Yeah.
Question mark? But I don't know. It's not like It Follows at all. We have to thank people.
Yeah.
I guess we have to thank people.
Ugh, people that have been so nice and
Okay.
done stuff.
Well,
You
the
got a
people.
list?
I have a list. No, I'm just looking at my phone pretending I have a list.
Oh.
We want to say thank you to Claire Holland, the namesake for our podcast, Not Your Final Girl. She wrote a book of horror-themed poetry by the same name. Please check it out. We could also thank Gabby Steiger, who made our amazing cover art.
Phantom Stranger
Episode, Phantom Stranger.
for general everything,
Our
but
friend
also
Pat for support
and our cover photo.
for our cover photo on Facebook, yeah, which is rad. Go follow us on Facebook. Speaking of which, at Not Your Final Girl, you could follow us also on Twitter and Instagram at NYFG Pod. Sometimes we're funny on there. It's been 84 years since we did
It
an
has
episode,
been 84 years.
but we'll be back posting and stuff.
We'll do
more
better.
regularly. We're gonna do
Yeah.
better in 2020.
Be better. This is 2020. New year, new us.
New year, new us.
I hate it.
Gabby hates new things.
New year, same shitty meat.